Good morning, everybody. It is me, Angie, and it is Monday morning, Motivational Monday. So, Monday motivation. So, today, as I'm waiting for my chat to pop up, let me just quickly remind you my name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So, if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So I hope you guys are doing well today. I thought it would be a good way to start the week if we could remind ourselves. Good morning, David H. Good morning, Jovan. I do not see that I am offline. I see that I am online. Am I offline, anybody? Um, Let me know. Hello, Jillian. Happy Monday, Hyper Thriver, says Tommy. Rose Hargrove says good morning. Melissa Gentile says good morning. Ms. Ruby says lots of good songs about Monday. Let's hear them, girl. Crystal Todd says good morning. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Sarah Childs. Good morning, Melissa. Melissa says she's still trying to move on. I totally feel you, honey. Um, so let's. Malta's here. Hello, Malta, my friend. And Sarah Childs says, and everybody else. Good morning, everyone else. Okay. So I thought that as you know, it's Motivational Monday, Monday motivation. Yes, that's a great idea. Let's talk about songs that motivate you on Monday morning. So Jillian said, good morning, my 2 cents. Jillian says, just another manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. I like that song. Maura DeLuca's in the house. She says, good morning. Jade O'Neill says, good morning, everybody. As Angela Scablin is back, she says, good morning. 7 months free of my narc. Hey, you go, girl. And Dora says, good morning from California. Melissa Gentile says, please talk about self esteem. I can't find mine. Absolutely. And Monica Rodriguez says, happy Monday, Angie. And Carlita says, good morning, everybody. Claire Buckley says, hey, Angie, thanks for your time. My pleasure, Claire. Cole Anderson in the house. Hey, Cole, how you doing, honey? And April Cortez says, positive good Monday morning. Travis says, yo, good morning. Good morning, Travis. How you doing, honey? Jillian says, we have a fantastic core group here this morning. Yes, indeed, we do, my friend. Dora says, strong enough by Cher is her Monday morning song. And Rose Hargrove says, we need more music and silliness. Yes, indeed. Hair changes colors back. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? She says, good morning, Angie. I've been away since I got a new job. I've missed all of you. We have missed you too, my love. I'm glad you're here today. How's the job going? My 2 cents says today is my first day away. Oh my gosh. Well, let me know how that's going. How are you feeling? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling nervous? What are you thinking about? Julie Richardson says hello, celebrating freedom. Happy to hear that, my friend. And Malta says, good morning, Angie and everyone. Good morning, Mr. Malta. How are you, my friend? Tracy Jen says, good afternoon from England. Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. Tracy, awesome. Free at Last says, hi, good morning. Feeling very confused. My ex-narc just brought their new baby home, and he is doing so much for them, and he was really not there for me when I had my daughter. I feel really confused and hurt. Well, I'll tell you what. Two things. Number one, you're probably seeing that on Facebook or something, I'm guessing, in which case, A, you should probably delete that person or block them. B, everybody looks fancy on Facebook. Everybody seems to be perfect on Facebook. So you might be surprised if you saw what was really going on. Um, Number two, you can't blame yourself in this situation, and you can't feel. I understand feeling confused and hurt, and I also understand how you would feel sort of shoved aside when he treated you horribly when you had your daughter, and now suddenly he's all Mr. Perfect Daddy, according to what you're seeing. And you have to understand a couple things. Number one, I'm sure there's a slight age difference, at least in him during this time. And number two, again, everybody looks perfect on Facebook if they want to. Some people just play the game very well. So let me know. How do you know for sure that he is actually in that situation? And Tommy D says, what's up, everyone? Happy to see a full house, as am I. Now let me go back to what Melissa's question was about self-esteem. So here's the thing about self-esteem. If you base it on what anyone else in the world thinks, it's temporary at best. It's fleeting at best. It turns you into someone who needs approval in order to, and you came up this way, right? Most likely you were probably brought up to believe, well, I need things to sound this way or be that way if I'm going to be happy and think I'm okay. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up thinking that as long as, other people said I was okay, then I was okay. But the truth is, when I finally learned how to self-validate and really open my heart to the idea that I did not need anyone else to tell me that I was okay, and that in fact I could learn how to sort of love myself enough that it didn't matter what anyone else thought, that was a big deal for me. It changed my life significantly. And it is the very reason that I am able to be here with you guys every day because I get criticized for being on YouTube by people who watch my videos sometimes in really mean, hateful ways that really hurt my feelings. But instead of believing them when they tell me who I am, I look at myself and I go, I know who I really am. And I know I'm not really whatever they're trying to say that I am. You know, I've had people accuse me of all kinds of good stuff. I'm not even going to go into it because it's irrelevant and useless to me. I think what it really all comes down to is loving yourself enough to know who you are and to be able to withstand criticism and disrespect from other people if you need to, and to also know when to when to get rid of unhealthy people in your life, which I know that you're doing that, Melissa, and I think that's really good. So, Melissa, I need to know, do you have other specific questions? Are you struggling because of what happened with your ex, or what is it that's making you struggle? Let me know. And one last little tip of advice for you. When you feel yourself talking bad about yourself in your head, because you will, I do it sometimes too, you need to imagine, number one, that's probably not really your voice, right? That's probably the echoes of narcissists from the past, so to speak. And number two, recognize that you need to talk positively to yourself if you're going to change that feeling, and talk to yourself in the same way that a good mother would have talked to you when you're struggling with this stuff. You see what I mean? Try that. It really does help. Right now, I'm going to mute myself for just 1 second so I can cough. One moment, please. Okay, I'm back. All right. Now let me get back to where I was here. Okay, this has to go over there. All right. So we have, let's see, I hate when I lose my place. Okay. So we have Tommy is happy to see a full house. We have Melissa saying it's cold here in Chicago, 39 this morning. Yes, indeed, my friend. And I'll tell you, oh, good morning, Arlene. Good morning, Angela Scabland. Um, Angela says to Melissa, I understand sometimes it's still a challenge. And it is. We all have to be prepared to understand that as our days go on, as we work on this, it gets a little bit better every day. Okay. And Melissa, it is pretty cold here today too. I woke up to it being 65 degrees in the house, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to turn on the heat today or not. It's really funny. Okay. Carlita says, I need to focus on meditation. I have to get still. Carlita, I'll tell you something. I am not able to do standard meditation very well. I mean, I can do it sometimes, but it's not really my thing. So let me just tell you what works for me. I like to plug in my headphones, and I like to literally I like to literally just move my body with my headphones in my ears. And even if it's just like walking back and forth on the front porch, which I literally do sometimes, it changes my world. The music helps, the physical movement helps. It is how I still my mind. My mind is always like this. And so I think a lot of us can relate to that. Our minds don't stop sometimes. And so for me, if I'm moving my body and I'm listening to some music that makes me feel like moving it, I can't focus on a whole lot of other things because my head sings along with the music, and sometimes my mouth does too. So I find that to be really helpful. So maybe that's something you could try, Carlita, as a walking meditation. And if you need it to be like slower music, then do that. I personally like it to be really happy, upbeat music because, again, it's just about clearing your head. It's about your mind becoming still more so than your body, for me anyway. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Sarah Child says her Monday morning song is I'm Still Standing by Elton John. I love that one too. Always a go-to for her, she says. Good morning, Miss Doreen. How are you? And let's see, Tracy Jen says, yeah, Angela Scabelin says it won't last long. Yeah, I agree with that, Angela, with the narcissist who's taking better care of the other baby, that it won't last long. And again, it's not really necessarily real. You don't know for sure unless you're in the house with them watching them. Because as we all know, narcissists often present a really good public front, but what's really behind closed doors is a whole other ball of wax. So Eddie, no, wait a minute. Tracy Jen says more music and more Salinas. Yes, yes. Yes, please, 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 more videos. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Eddie Knows says, hi, Angie. Hello to all. Hey, Eddie Knows. How you doing, my friend? Hair changes color says the job is going well. Excellent. She says, I don't think about the NARC while I'm working, and I'm so grateful to have this job. I'm on the path to better things. I love hearing that. And I hope you're doing well. I hope it continues to improve for you because I know you struggled so much, but it's beautiful to see you succeeding, and I'm so glad that you came back and that you're here to to show other survivors that gosh, it gets better. It really gets better, and it does. It really does. Yes, indeed, my friend. Malta says hello to Eddie Knows. Ooh, Arlene says 1 year narc free. Go Arlene, get it, girl. Okay. Renee says good morning, everybody. Good morning, Renee. How are you, my friend? And Crystal Todd's in the house. She says she's constantly crying for the last 4 weeks. All right, Crystal, 4 weeks. It's about enough. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love, and I don't mean this in any negative way, but I've been there. I know I didn't eat. I didn't eat for 3 weeks after I left my narcissist, and that was devastating for me. There's only been a few times in my life that I was so upset that I couldn't eat, and that was one of those times. So what I suggest is set an end date on your crying. Okay. If you need to give yourself one more whole week, then do that. Go ahead and let yourself cry. If you are trying to stop yourself from doing something, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to do it. So let it out. Part of the reason that you're crying now might be because you were forced to hide your emotions while you were with the narcissist. You've got a lot of buildup, so to speak. So let it out. It's okay to cry for a while. But 4 weeks, you're getting to the point where it's going to become very unhealthy for you, and your eyes are probably really in a lot of pain from all of that. So let the tears out, let the pain out. And let's say 1 week from today, you decide that you're no longer going to be crying. Okay. So get the crying out this week and decide that next week you're going to start Monday morning with a whole new attitude. Maybe you want to join my 30-day declutter challenge and change your house in the process. The thing is that when we feel the way you feel right now, we feel paralyzed. We feel like we can't do anything. And if it's been 4 weeks that you've been away from the narcissist, continue growing, continue to move forward in your life, continue to change the way you're behaving. One little tiny baby step at a time. Don't beat yourself up for crying. You've had a lot of emotions shoved down for a long time, but now start to look forward. Start to look into the future. 4 weeks, it's enough to develop a habit. I'm not saying you're crying out of habit, but what I am saying is it's possible that you could change your whole life by changing your perception of the situation. So instead of being sad that the narcissist is gone, start to think about how much less difficult your life will be without having to deal with a narcissist every day. Start to think about the fact that you will no longer be abused every day, that you will no longer have to have your whole life taken from you every day. You can change your perception and change your life. I want you to think about that, and I want you to give me some more information on what you're crying about, please, if you have time. Tommy D says, sorry to end your undefeated streak. Any KC Chief fans out there? Woohoo Steelers. What is that, like football or something? Wait. Baseball. Listen, I don't really follow the sports, but I respect your right to do so. My husband's a hockey person. Is that a hot? No, that can't be hockey. Anyway, don't judge me, Tommy D. Malta says I'm doing well. Angie, how are you? Thank you, Malta. I'm feeling okay. I woke up with a little cold. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably because my house is freezing right now. But they say you burn calories when you're cold. So, all right, let's see here. Eddie Knows says, hey, Malta. And Sabrina Gilliam is back. Hey, Sabrina. She says, my narc is back after a 7-month silent treatment. The new job and everything was going wonderful. What can I do to keep him away? He is saying he needed to reset us. Listen, that's a Hoover, my friend. Chances are that when he needed to reset you, he went off and found himself someone else to be supply for a while. And my guess is the supply either stopped putting up with his crap or is boring to him now. And he needs you because you're better at supply than that person or whatever. So my suggestion is, keep going and tell him, listen, I'm not really interested in being your second choice or your backup plan, because that's what the Hoover is usually. Tell me your thoughts on what I said and tell me if you think you need to continue. When you say he's back, is he back in your house? What's going on? Jillian says, "Oh my gosh, I would hate to deal with a newborn and a narcissist." Yeah, it was tough. She said the newborns take almost as much energy as those other babies, almost as much energy as those other babies. That's the truth. And I'll tell you something. Um, when I had my first child, which was my oldest, who's now 20, with a narcissist, literally, like, when we got home, I stayed awake in the hospital because I was dumb. I mean, uneducated about the fact that I was never gonna. I knew that I was gonna have trouble sleeping when he came home, but I had no idea how much. And I really thought I'd have a little help, but I didn't. And I remember the first night home, I was in the living room with the baby while my ex-husband was snoring away in the bedroom, and it was really difficult, but we made it through. So, um, but I agree with you. A newborn and a narcissist is like having two newborns in the house, or a newborn and a toddler, which is also very difficult. Yeah. Stop the Chaos says, I've really been thinking about what you said last week when I told you it feels weird and a little scary to me to make decisions for myself, regardless of others' opinions. It does feel like freedom. I like it. I love it. That is excellent. Stop the Chaos. I'm so happy to hear that. And it really, it is scary, but it definitely is also freedom. And it's just something that we all have less experience with than some people because where parents are told give your child a choice between the red and the blue cup or whatever. A lot of parents, especially narcissist parents, don't give us little simple choices to make us children, and in fact tell us what we think, feel, believe, and should say. And if we don't, as we know, they are not nice to us. So something to think about. And I'm glad to hear that you are making those choices and that you're feeling stronger in yourself. It's a beautiful thing. Madeline Gutierrez is back. Hello, beautiful. She says, "Good morning, Angie and Roomies. My favorite song is Amazing Grace. No matter what, I am a precious treasure to God." Beautiful. I love it. I actually like that song too. Brian Mulvaney is in the house. He says, "Good morning. Will and narcs sometimes warn you in the beginning of a relationship that they aren't good for you?" Yes, my friend. Very often. And they'll say it in a self-effacing way. Like they'll say, "Oh, I'm just not a good person." And of course, our response is, "Oh, don't say that about yourself. You're a good person." We don't really know. But, like Oprah says and Maya Angelou said, when they tell you who they are, you believe them. And we don't do that because it sounds like they don't have good self-esteem usually, but not always. But it sounds like it's a self-esteem issue more than a narcissism issue. But if somebody says, "I'm just a bad person," or "I'm just horrible," or "I'm just not good for you," or "I'm just not good enough for you," you might want to really consider what that means, because sometimes it's an issue. I'm going to mute myself one more time, 1 second. Sorry, a little cold right now. I mean, I have a little cold on top of it being a little cold. I probably should just turn the heat on. All right. Shannon O'Brien and Stan Firm are in the house. Shannon says, "Hello, Monday." And Stan Firm says, "Good morning, everyone." Tommy D says, "STC." Wait, what does that mean? I do not know. Forgive me. Um, I think that's a clap for someone here. Okay. Melissa Gentile says, the main thing growing up was what will they think, and calling your daughters ugly and Italian didn't count. Oh, honey. I totally get that. Hey girl, hey, Melina's here, you guys. So I'm going to wrap up here in a minute. We have our Monday morning meeting, but I will be back later today with two videos because we're doing the day 5 of our 30-day home makeover declutter challenge. And what else? Another video. Okay. So, Melissa, I totally understand how that feels. And you know what? I want you to ask yourself, if your child felt the way you feel right now, what would you say to your child? I'll tell you this. If my daughter says to me, "Mom," and she does sometimes have those moments of insecurity and feeling like she's not good enough. And, I remind her that she's beautiful. I remind her that she's uniquely herself. If she thinks, "Mom, I'm fat," I say, "No, you're not fat. You have strong legs and you have strong arms. And all you have to do is let's move it. Let's do this. Let's do that, whatever." The point is, instead of focusing on everything that's so bad about yourself, which is probably not as bad as you're pretending or thinking that it is, you have to think about looking at yourself with love, looking at yourself in the same way that you would look at your own child and give them that love, give yourself that love. It's very difficult, but it can be done. You can change the way you see yourself by looking at yourself the way a good mother would have looked at you, and try to see yourself through those eyes. It's a process, but it does work. If you can't do that it that way, imagine what you wish your mother would have said to you and say that to yourself instead. It's a process. Okay. Good morning, Ms. Lily. And you guys, good morning, my 2 cents. I'm going to answer one more quick question and then we're going to go because I have to get into this meeting. My 2 cents says, my narcissist is my Social Security payee, and it is threatening to have my children taken away because I suffer PNES with memory loss. I need guidance. What is PNES? Do I know this? Okay, the one thing I can tell you this is I need to know what PNES is. My 2 cents, if you can come back in my next session, I will be happy to have researched this by that time and hopefully give you a better answer. But right now, I would say document everything that's happening and report it to another person. Like if you have a social worker or somebody like that that you can talk to about this, that would be really helpful. I need more information before I could give you a proper answer on that. Melissa says, call them ugly and maybe they will grow up beautiful. Kind of harsh. That doesn't work, Melissa. Call them beautiful because no matter what they look like on the outside, they can be beautiful on the inside. And I don't know about y'all, but I look at my children and I think they're beautiful no matter what anybody thinks. And your mother or your father should have done that for you. They should have been the one champion who would never ever give up on you, who would never stop loving you no matter what happened. And you have to do that for yourself now. You have to reparent yourself. Melissa, I suggest you watch my videos on healing your inner child as well. Okay. Oh, Free at Last says her stepdaughter tells her all that's going on, how they're getting a new house, him taking off days to be with the baby. I think she's a flying monkey. She knows I'm hurt, but that does not stop her. Yeah, for sure. I would suggest not dealing with your stepdaughter too much more until that's resolved. I mean, do you need to deal with your stepdaughter anymore? I'm just curious. All right, I'm wrapping up, guys. I'm so sorry. I will see you later today for 2 more videos, and I'll be here tomorrow for our usual session. Twice on Tuesday, we'll have Brad for the Empath show in the morning, and at 1 p.m. Central Time, our usual support session. So have a lovely day, everybody. I will see you soon. And as always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.